So welcome to Leadership Takeaways. And this is a set of interviews I'm doing with successful CEOs. My name's Rachael Orchard, and I'm a coach in business. And this is Ray Olds. Welcome, Ray. And Ray is Ray is CEO and founder of Cambridge Online Systems. So the reason for me doing these set of interviews is because I very much want to see if there is an overriding set of ingredients that make up success with long-running companies. So Ray's here to help me look at 4 different sections, and the 4 main themes I'm looking at are strategy, strengths and obstacles, resources, and the insights and how you take companies forward in these volatile times. So firstly, we're going to look at Ray and Cambridge Online Systems, and what would you say, Ray, with looking at strategy, when you looked first at your strategy, did you have an overriding idea of what your strategy was, what's your vision, your plan, your purpose? How was it for you when you first started in business?
Well, first starting in business, the strategy was to build a business that was sustainable. And it can only be sustainable if you're serving a customer in a marketplace that can take advantage of what you have to offer them. And in this ever-changing world, that has to be changing as well. You have to have an agile approach to your business in terms of what you're offering and what you're deploying. I've been involved in technology pretty much all my life since I left school. And Cambridge Online's been around since 1978. And in those early days, we were providing technology that is not that different to what we provide today. It's just got quicker and faster and more expansive, and fortunately a lot cheaper, although we won't think so at the time. I think from a strategic viewpoint, our business has to be sustainable by us pushing the boundaries all the time, by not letting ourselves be left behind with the competition, by continually servicing our customers' needs on a long-term basis. In other words, not just going for short wins, but going for that longevity of relationship. But most importantly, employing the sort of people that can sustain that for us. Richard Branson is famous for saying, you don't need to look after your customers anymore. Look after your employees, because they'll look after them. And I believe that is absolutely the case. So strategically, it's the right people is the thing that really counts, and the thing that really makes a business tick. And creating that development, personal and leadership environment is absolutely key.
So that was a strategy which obviously has evolved for you over the 5 decades that you've been in business, which is just wonderful, and obviously is a testament to the success and what you've done. But when you first started out, before strategy has to come purpose, right? And that's what we were just talking about previously in our conversation before, of the why. Yeah. So where did your why come from?
Well, the why came from recognising a need in the market that nobody else was fulfilling, and it seems a bit obvious that that's the reason you have a business, because you do. I spent a bit of time with some school kids out at Camborne Village College the other day, and that was about them thinking about setting up their own businesses and becoming entrepreneurs and thinking about it. And it sort of made you think about what you were trying to do as a business. And if you can't find anything that has demand because the demand isn't being met elsewhere, then you probably found a bit of a niche. But that's not something you can live on all the time. So actually, being in business is the business. That's what the business is all about. You've got to be continually changing and evolving that. Yeah. A business is not providing IT. My business is about the survival of Cambridge Online in a market that's forever changing. And that's what you really need to focus on. And that was then. Back in 78, we wanted to offer online, real-time IT systems to businesses, local businesses in the area, through telephone lines going to servers running in warehouses, sort of thing they call the cloud these days.
Exactly. So you were very forward-thinking for your time, which I think is probably partially for your success.
I couldn't possibly say that, but,
but I'll say that as a coach. But with very much Jim Collins, who's a management consultant, he looks at the 3 circles, and one is your passion, and then out of your passion you look at what are you really genetically encoded for, and then if you've got those both, are you then servicing the business machine of, are you bringing value? So what's behind all your 3 circles? Your passion, and what do you really think you're genetically encoded for? Because obviously you're providing business value because you've got a company that's sustainable and survived.
The biggest driver that I have is I believe technology is something that is very much underutilized in the world today.
Yeah.
That it has so much more to offer than people are prepared to see or look at. And if I can open a few eyes while I'm doing the job that I do and sustaining a business that I do into that concept and that philosophy, then that's what I really want to be able to do. If people can see what the employment of technology can do for themselves and for their business, then that's great. I think, you know, I'm from an era where IT wasn't necessarily the most fundamental thing around. Today, everybody's using it. Everybody's got it. You know, whether it's on your phone or in the cloud or the way you do banking, the way you book holidays.
Yeah.
Every single piece of your life is managed and controlled by and influenced by technology and the technology available. Personally, it's a shame that hasn't happened in the business world as well as it could do or as it should do.
So what I hear there is you actually saying for you, part of your why is the possibilities, the endless possibilities of what's possible for people, for society, of fulfilling their absolute needs as people.
Yeah, and it's about, I guess, businesses opening their eyes into what they're really good at and taking advantage of what's there to make sure that they continue to deliver what they believe they're good at. And what they are actually good at isn't necessarily what they do today.
Yeah.
Today, how they perform their business today is just a manifestation of what they're good at. And sometimes people do forget what they're good at, and they lose sight of why they're in business in the first place.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure.